All right, Greg Remmenga joins us for some more free legal advice. Today we're going to discuss the importance of kind of knowing the legalese, if you will, and the terminology going into a court case.
Well, anytime you have a court case, whether it's a personal injury case, a contract, anything else, you need to educate yourself, sit down with the attorney, and find out what your case is about,
Sure.
what you're going to have to prove, what the steps are, so that you're not surprised and you can start preparing yourself for the details and the roller coaster that's going to be the legal case.
Absolutely.
For example, one of the main things is the elements. You need to find out what the elements are of your case.
Okay.
In a personal injury case, you have to prove that the other person had a duty to do something, failed to do that, caused your accident, and that the accident caused your injuries, and then what your damages are.
Okay.
So when an insurance company, they're paying your car because you were hit, admits liability, that doesn't mean they're admitting that you were hurt. They're not admitting that they did any harm to you, and they're not admitting what that's worth. So a lot of people, when they say we admit liability, they relax and start saying they're just going to pay us whatever I need. That's not the case.
Right.
They're admitting the first two elements. We admit they caused the accident and that we had a responsibility not to cause the accident.
Okay.
So those type of details you need to know so that you can prepare yourself, continue to get the medical treatment, continue to document the amount of the medical treatment, those types of things, and be prepared.
Do you often find people that come visit you don't know the terminology or maybe too afraid to ask you what things mean, and then they get blindsided afterwards?
A lot of people come in, for example, the example I just gave you. Well, why aren't they paying me my wage loss? Well, they just admitted they caused the accident. They didn't admit that they caused you any wage loss. So we still have to prove that.
Okay.
They wonder why they're having to prove the amount of their damages. That's one of the things you have to prove.
Right.
It's just not assumed. And so knowing the elements, and then the next thing is knowing the burden. Who has to prove what? A lot of times they say, I was the victim of the accident. Why do I have to prove what this caused me? It's your burden, so you have to know that, and you can move on.
Right, absolutely. So different terms that maybe some people think or have different meanings and whatnot.
Correct.
So it's a good reason to maybe contact Greg just to get the clarifications on that, or if you just want a free consultation, feel free to contact him as well. We'll be right back after the break.
If you want Greg to answer one of your legal questions, visit krextv.com, click on Live in the Studio, and submit your question on the right side of the screen. Watch Greg's segment every Wednesday on News Channel 5 at noon.